7 quick tips on how to be stoic. Like Kiyotaka Ayanokoji, listen more than you speak. It's often better to closely listen to others and refrain from speaking unnecessarily. You will find that there is a large range of benefits from doing this. Firstly, by listening you will come to understand individuals and situations more deeply, allowing you to find solutions and navigate social situations more easily. You will also avoid saying things that could be detrimental to you. If you reply to people in a hasty manner, you will likely say something irritating or pointless. Before you reply to someone or launch yourself into a conversation, you should wait a few seconds. Think before you speak. You will realize that the majority of what you think about saying is better left unsaid. Ayanokoji clearly follows this Stoic principle very well. He doesn't speak unless it's necessary. He knows that talking and revealing too much is often not beneficial, which is why he chooses to observe and listen to other people. Never complain. Complaining does nothing beneficial for you. It's utterly futile and doesn't lead to anything good. When you complain, it makes the annoyance of someone or something linger in your mind longer. This puts your mind in a worse mental state. It's also a distraction from what you should actually be doing, which is working on solutions to your problems. You never see Ayanokoji complaining at all. This is because he knows that complaining is completely useless. He endures the struggles and problems that he is going through, focusing on finding a solution, instead of complaining. Limit your opinions. Opinions take objective situations and morphs them into an emotional viewpoint. If you keep having opinions on things unrelated to you, you're actually creating more drama and conflict. You get yourself worked up on things that have nothing to do with you or are unimportant. Essentially, opinions can lead to anger, distress and frustration, which is why it's often better to refrain from forming an opinion, especially on areas where you have no expertise in. You must realize that opinions are not facts. As soon as you have an opinion on a situation, you're no longer thinking objectively. This is because you're subjecting yourself to bias and only one point of view. But if you refrain from having an opinion, you can see from many different perspectives. This keeps yourself open-minded. You don't need to always have an opinion. You can just see things for what they actually are. By limiting the amount of opinions you have, you actually think more like Ayanokoji. Ayanokoji is very unemotional and thinks objectively. He doesn't see things in an opinionated emotional manner, he just sees situations for what they actually are, looking at things as objective pieces of information, and not projecting his beliefs and emotional feelings onto it. Control how you respond. Often, there will be many things that will be out of your control. Choosing how you respond to bad situations will greatly affect your outcome. If you react in a negative, unstable and irrational manner, you just make things worse for yourself. You can no longer think clearly and end up taking actions that are not optimal. But if you can control yourself and respond calmly, you will be able to think more clearly and get a better outcome. In order to do this, you must develop the awareness that you are fully in control of your thoughts, and always consider if your reaction is actually going to be beneficial. Ayanokoji is very good at controlling how he responds to things, always responding in a calm manner. One example is when he gets in a fight with multiple opponents. He never panics in this dangerous situation and is in full control of his mind. Stop chasing fame. Many people like the attention, accolades, respect and validation they get from fame. It seems desirable on the surface, but there's many problems that come from seeking social status. Firstly, you give people power over you because you're forcing yourself to do things to make people admire you. You're also more open to conflicts, hostility, envy, and judgments towards you because of the large amount of people noticing you. Essentially, you're unable to have peace of mind, and your interactions with certain people become more difficult. So instead of chasing attention, you should focus on taking the best optimal actions for yourself in every situation. Ayanokoji is clearly a person who doesn't want fame. It's been demonstrated by him multiple times, such as intentionally scoring 50% on all the subjects, and letting Horikita take the credit for a class victory. Ayanokoji does this to avoid unnecessary attention, knowing for a fact that fame can be problematic for him. Think independently. You should use your own judgment rather than conforming to the majority of people. Conforming blindly to the ideas and actions of the mob is not wise, because you're making yourself reliant on others and letting people dictate your actions. It's better to think for yourself and come to your own conclusions. Decide for yourself on what beliefs and actions you should take. By thinking independently, people will no longer have power and influence over you. Ayanokoji is a great example of an independent thinker. He uses his own intellect to get through situations and never lets herd mentality get to him. Keeping this independence allows him to be in control and have power over others because he doesn't have to rely on people to think for him. Develop discipline. In order to obtain great accomplishments and skills, you need to have self-discipline. Without discipline, it will be impossible for you to achieve the things you want. which is why you need to set standards for yourself. When developing discipline, you start small, then work your way up to bigger and harder things. For example, if you just started working out, don't try to lift the heaviest weight there is. You start off with lighter weights, then you add on more reps, and heavier weights over time. You build resilience a little bit each time, and eventually you can do hard things. Do this with multiple areas in your life, and you will eventually have unbreakable discipline like Ayanokoji. The discipline of Ayanokoji is quite evident. He has defined muscles, so he obviously works out consistently. He also has more skills and knowledge than everyone else because of his discipline to keep learning. When you have this level of self-discipline, you can succeed in anything. Thanks for watching Vevan 7.